Hello people, this is Chatting in Cars. My name is Charlotte. This is the second podcast I've started. We're going to be talking about gaining social approval on the trip today, and hopefully might get some insight into why I desperately don't seek it. Alright, so the time is roughly 7:15, so I'm about to drive for 45 minutes, or 40 minutes, depending on whether we're gunning it or not. Hopefully I don't scream at anyone. Hopefully I don't have an accident. That is the optimum outcome for this drive. Eventually we'll get to work. There are several reasons why I chose this topic for today. Social approval. I mean, I've never been one for social approval. I did try it when I was in my teens because I just wanted to fit in. You know, everybody's like, everybody's doing this, so we'll all do the same thing. And it'll be all right. I mean, sometimes you're denying who you are at the same time. Sorry, I'm just going through a big gate right now. Didn't want to bang my car. But at the same time, as you get older, it's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel like it matters anymore. We're all off doing our own things, especially at high school. After high school, everything's a blur, so as soon as you finish uni, if you go to uni, after that it's all work, and then you hang around with the same people at work who particularly you can't stand anyway. And that's about it. It's like, do you invite them to your house to hang out? No. So why do you want their approval? So am I going to be spending more time with you outside of this? Not really? Great. I'm just going to leave it here then. But typically I am an introvert, so I don't really look for like attention or large amounts of approval from people. I pretty much get on with my day, and I don't like to talk to anyone if I can. Unfortunately, as a teacher, that's one of my jobs, is having to relate to kids and what do they need and what can I give them and how can I help, and then you have to consult with all the other people in the room and everyone else outside the room. So it does become a challenge when you just honestly just want to sit in a silent room. But I'm just wondering, it's like one of the weirdest experiences is yesterday, well, not the weirdest experiences, but yesterday, this is what provoked my brain into action, was yesterday I walked into the staff room and for some reason there was this big air of, oh shit, she's here again. And I'm like, okay, all right, have I done something? You know, whatever, and you could go, oh shit, what have I done? I don't know if it's from, you know, getting in trouble as a kid or what, but you can feel it as like a sixth sense. It's like, something's happened here, what's happened? I had first thing in the morning left a bunch of resources on the spare table for the staff so they could sort through it and, you know, find anything they might find useful. I'm like, these are all left over. And as soon as I walked into the staff room for recess, I reminded people, these resources are here. If you want them, you can have them. Don't worry about anything. You know, just feel free to take what you need or want. And I got this weird response like, oh, they're here from your mum. I'm like, well, yeah, they are from my mum. I've already told you that. But it was like a mocking kind of feeling. And I don't know if I was just being, you know, I don't know, paranoid or overthinking it or something like that. I'm sitting there going, you fuckers don't like me, do you? You know, you get that second gust of, oh, that doesn't feel right. It's like here I was thinking I was doing a nice thing because I don't like waste. And I know these guys, some of them are starting out, they might want some extra resources, or, you know, teachers are typically magpies. But I got this weird, you know, feeling like, why don't they like me? I'm going, it's not been a big thing before because I'm pretty much in it for the day, I get paid and I get out. But for this school in particular, half the teachers came from my mum's school. And they got along with her pretty well, or at least it was perceived that they did. So they know me through her. I've worked at that school that they were previously at as well. So there is some kind of camaraderie there. So I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. They know I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. So why suddenly this sort of semi-hostile feeling in the air? And that got me thinking, it's like, do I actually give a shit, to be honest? I mean, should I give a shit? It's like, I'm not permanent here. I'm not full-time. When these 2 weeks is up, I might come back for a few more days after that, but that's about it. But why do I give a fuck? You know, that's the thing. It's like I turn up on the day, they pay me, I leave. I'm not hanging out with these people after work. I have no intention of joining any kind of social thing. It's like, and then that, you know, it's like these people, without trying to sound horrible, don't matter. It's like, they don't pay my bills. They're not blood related to me. They're not my close friends. I think I've got about a handful of friends that I've kept since primary school, you know. So like, why am I getting this weird gut feeling that something's wrong? And I'm sitting there thinking, should I try and investigate? What have I done wrong? It's like, why do I want to belong to this group? Do I want to join in? Or am I just feeling insecure, you know? It's like that these teachers who are permanent and full-time here and have to coexist with each other, even if it's through, you know, fake politeness, and which I fucking loathe, by the way. I hate that shit. Oh yeah, did I mention I swear a lot? But they put on this fake persona, and it's like, I know you're not like this because I can feel that you're not like this. So why are you faking this? This isn't professional. It's nothing to do with that. It's this plastic, you know? It's like, why do we do this plastic? I mean, obviously I'm not going to tell people to their face, go fuck off, I'm having a bad day and I don't like you. Tempting as it is. But it's like, there is a level of professionalism where you have to be polite and, you know, considerate and things like this. You don't have to fake being their best buddy. That's what gets me, is like, there is a whole culture of plasticized friendships. I don't know if it's in any other workplaces. The only real workplaces I've known are, you know, like where I've done teaching itself for 12 years, and before that I was doing things like factory work and seedling plantations and bakeries and things like that. There was never, in those factories and plantations and things, there was never that fake. I mean, it was rough because, you know, making great big pallets of heavy ass plants and shit like that. And so the women that I was working with, and it was primarily women actually, strangely, in these big plantation places, they were rough as guts. They were awesome. I liked how real they were. It's like, if they didn't like it, they told you to fuck off for the day. You're like, okay. And we were kids at that time. My sister and I used to work there. We used to do days on and off, and we were both going through uni. We're like, oh, we're just gonna do this. But these women did this for a job full time. It was their life. And I'll tell you, they're rough as guts, but they're some of the toughest women I've ever met. And they don't fake anything. I love that about them. It's like, they're not gonna fake being your best friend for just smiles and, oh my God, you know? They're actual real women. That's what I love about them. So when I come to the school holidays, I do tend to look for more work like that, even to just, you know, go back and revisit and re-experience things I've gone through. I seriously, God, I cannot fault these women. It's crazy. It's like, but as soon as you get into the higher paying jobs, the deemed more intellectual jobs, everything seems so fucking fake. And you're like, why are you guys like this? And they've learnt to do it through some kind of weird, bitchy, mean girls shit. You know? It's like, some of them haven't left high school. I don't know what it is. It's very cliquey. I mean, in the school I'm in today, which is the same as yesterday, I'll be in here for the next 2 weeks, there is maybe one guy, a clique of blonde girls. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, it's cliche. And then a bunch of angry middle-aged women. I'm going, you guys have been teaching too long. But then there's like a semi-my age group where it's just like 30 to mid-30s who are just fake, bitchy, friendly. And you're like, I know you're being two-faced. I can feel it. But like that, if that's the group I'm supposed to belong to and want to associate with, I'm questioning why. Because I don't care about the mundane crap you guys go through. Because I've sat there and I've listened to their conversations, and it is the shallowest shit I've ever heard of. And it's crap. It is crap. It is crap for the sake of speaking. And you sit there and think, why do I have to belong to you assholes? I don't get it. I really don't. And I'm sure everyone goes through this at their workplace. In other places as well, I'm guessing. But it's like, why? What is this fake cohesion? Who started this where we all have to be nice to each other? So nice, in fact, that you can tell it's fake. It's like, are you guys just Amber Heard levels of bad acting? I mean, what is going on that you need to be like this? It's painful. You know, it's like, I don't want to fake it. In terms of social stuff, I'd rather go and hang out with the women in the factories and the bakeries and things, you know. Big warehouses and things where, you know, you could lose a limb and stuff like that. But it's way more interesting. Those women are way more interesting than any of the mundane shit these assholes go through. I mean, it's all this crap. It's like, oh, Timmy took a crap today. It's like, wonderful. And you felt compelled to tell us. How is this going to help us in this current situation? I don't know. There's all bitchiness as well. It's like, and it's the weirdest thing. They'll sit at the same table with the girls that they're bitching about behind their back. And you're going, what the fuck is this? It's high school all over again, except you guys getting paid to do this. I don't understand it. The lack of maturity in the area. And I just don't want to belong to that group. So when it comes to social approval, I'm going, should I bother? I don't bother. So then I become alienated from the group. I go into this straight Durkheim othering situation where it's like, oh, she's not one of us, so of course she's definitely not going to fit in, so we don't bother talking to her. And I'm like, well, you know what? I don't want to fucking be like you anyway. Because you blobby little fucks don't do anything with your life, and this is your job. This is your life. You 9 to 5 it, and then you leave, and then you get distracted with what? Football games after work with your kids, or it's like we've chosen different life paths. I know that much, but we still have common factors which should occur, like we both teach, or we're both female, or, you know, it's like, or something like that. There has to be something. But it's a fakeness. I don't like the fakeness. I'm having trouble understanding why they do it as well. So it doesn't get you any further in the job. It's not professional, I don't think, to fake that niceness. I mean, generally, if you have a mutual appreciation for each other because of what they do, I would understand. It's like, wow, you're really confident in this. That's pretty cool. But it's fake for the being fake. It's the smile. It's the Karen smile. Do you know what the Karen smile is? Oh my God. I bet you're picturing it now. If you picture it now with a high pitch, oh my God. That's how they greet you. It's the fake. It's like, good morning. And you sit there going, please don't treat me like a fucking idiot. I've got more degrees than you, and I really should be earning more than you at this point. Please stop patronizing me. Bugs the crap out of me. It's disingenuous. It really is. It's the fakeness. Christ. But I noticed this in high school as well, because I was like the weird kid in high school. I didn't hang out with the popular crew. I was short and chubby, I knew it. And then I developed like a eating disorder in my late teens when suddenly people started paying attention to me. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And I got that weird contrast. I got the before and after understanding of social inclusion. So before I was weird, short and chubby, I hang out with the weird kids. I fucking love those guys. I'm still friends with most of them. So that's pretty cool. Those guys are not going to leave your side. I also hang out with a lot of stoners, but that's a different story. I never did drugs. I never understood that. But I hang out with the people who did. It's weird. But they were cool and weird, and I liked them. I always go for anomalies. I don't know why. But when I got to about 16, 17, I did develop an eating disorder. And boys started looking at me. And I'm sitting there going, okay, why are they looking at me? I couldn't understand that hitting puberty at the same time as losing a load of weight. And I'm not condoning anorexia. It's the worst fucking thing for you. It will mess your brain up, your organs and everything. My pancreas starts shutting down and everything. Do not condone it. It is incredibly harmful. It is the biggest fight I've ever had, besides trying to get out of home and abusive relationships. It's a nightmare because you're fighting yourself. You are literally fighting yourself to death. It's like, if your brain wins, you die. If your brain wins, you die. It's like either you give in to eating or you give in to dying. It's like you hate yourself for eating. It's the biggest, weirdest fight. It's crazy. I can't even explain it, which is probably a whole new podcast topic in itself. But the boys started showing me attention. Okay, so suddenly I was a thing to be looked at. I was included in some things, not everything. I still have my friends, which were the weird crew. We all sat around in a big circle and just talked about the random shit. But I was getting looked at, and I noticed that other girls who were deemed popular really didn't like me. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know you people, but that's cool. I'm going over here. And I never really sought social approval. I liked my people because they were weird and they were interesting. I didn't do it to gain a following. I didn't do it to gain attention. Most of the time I hid behind, like when we were out in public, I used to hide behind my sister. My sister would talk for me because she's just really good at it, and I suck at talking publicly. I really do. I shut down. I'm a selective mute. That's part of my autism, but at the same time, I cannot talk properly. Eye contact is a nightmare. As soon as I need to talk about anything that's not, just basic day-to-day talk, I blank. I just blank, and I can't get the words out. And when I'm really emotional, my speech goes as well. So yeah, I just literally cannot get the words out. Apparently it's something my mum had. I don't know. But you just get too wound up, That's all I can see it as. So I didn't have the social skills to understand what was going on when these girls were getting angry with me for existing, It's like, I don't get it. I'm being nice to you. I was told if you're nice, people are nice back, right? That's the rule. And I'm very much a stickler for rules. Hence the reason I do so well as a teacher. I like rules. They make sense. I like routines. They make sense, It's like when you throw a spanner in the works, like you being taught one thing and them reacting in a different way, it throws me for a curveball. I'm going, I don't understand. And then you go into like a spiral of overthinking. Like, why did I react this way? Why are they reacting this way? Did I get it wrong? Did I upset someone? And in the end, the only thing I've learned as an adult is part of maturing is saying, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I spent my teens trying to understand why the girls didn't like me. Although nothing I was doing changed, in the exception of my appearance changed. That was it. I didn't hang out with any kind of guys that they would have wanted. Nothing really changed. My schoolwork suffered because my brain went frazzled to crap. Apparently anorexia or eating disorders are a comorbidity of autism. I had no idea. I just thought I was weird. My mum to this day doesn't know or won't accept, even though I've been diagnosed, that autism is a disability. It's not a disability. It is a different ability. I will admit that. It hasn't stopped me doing anything productive. If anything, it's helped me because I fixate on getting this one thing done and it just gets done. And the routines and the rules, and they all seem to work together. I was like, I don't understand why they call it a different disability. As you can see, sometimes my speech goes. So if I get overthinking too much, I stutter a little bit. So, and that's part of the selective mutism as well, because I'm trying to get things out. But I never saw it as a bad thing. It's like I was a little weird, yes. I looked for other weird kids, yes. I still had friends. I didn't understand a lot of the rules that were deemed popular. Like, I didn't want to go, act slutty around guys. I didn't want to go out drinking and stuff like that. It didn't interest me. When all the senior girls were smoking at school, like, oh, they're so hardcore. It's like, I know that's a bad thing because you die. It's like, so I'm not gonna do that. That's cool with me. I wasn't really a nerd. I did all right in school, about average, maybe a bit better in the sciences and English. Maths I sucked out, which leveled everything out, so I was about average. I wasn't some kind of weird savant or anything like that. Not that being a savant is weird or bad. That's nothing wrong with being weird. But you know, if you're expecting some kind of Rain Man skills, it's like, yeah, I wasn't there. I just didn't understand what was going on in a social sense. I'm going, why don't they like me? I was nice to them. But then again, I thought a lot of the time, why am I even outdoors? Why am I not at home inside just being on my own? I'd rather be on my own. It does become overwhelming. And I thought, honestly, I'd left that kind of crap in high school. Because as soon as you get out of high school, it's like, all right, I made it into uni, cool, all right. I don't have to talk to anyone in classrooms. Wrong answer. You're going to tutorials where you are going to have to, firstly, introduce 3 interesting facts about yourself. That was a fucking nightmare. Then they're going to ask you to contribute, and you are going to get marked on contributing. I was like, I don't want to contribute. I just want to read the text and do the tests. That's all I want to do. It's like, but this is how we learn. It's like, this is not how I learn. This is incredibly horrible. I am screaming on the inside. I don't like this. If I have to belong to this classroom by doing this, I don't want to. I hate this. Which is why I loved it when they shifted all the stuff online. They just suddenly moved everything online. They were using some kind of program like LMS or something like that. And I didn't even have to go to tutorials. It was brilliant. All I had to do was just barrel through the stuff that was on, you know, the portal. And I didn't have to talk to anyone unless I had like an assignment issue. And that was it. And even then I could do it by email or text or something like that. It's like the talking face-to-face never was easy for me. Even now it's still not easy. I mean, I've been teaching 12 years and everything I have, all my skill sets to do with verbalizing what I need are learned. They're rote learned. I know that much because sometimes you misapply them. And you're like, oh shit, that doesn't fit. I hope no one noticed. It's pretty funny. It's awkward as well because you're like, wait a minute, my brain glitched. And you're like, how do I find an excuse to explain why I just said that? It's like, I don't know. And you kind of look at each other like, did I say that? So it's been interesting. I think everyone goes through that though. I don't think that's specifically an autistic thing. We pre-program ourselves to behave certain ways and expect certain responses in particular scenarios. Sometimes we autopilot that and it messes up. But not to worry. The thing is, it's all savable. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so social approval. So I never really had that. Not that I wanted it. The only approval I had in high school, really, was some of my teachers didn't mind me hanging around. And not that doesn't sound weird. And my weird group of friends that used to hang out at recess and lunch near a flagpole, and we all just used to talk smack about stuff. None of it was any particular value thing. No one got ahead in that group. No one was more popular for saying some bitchy thing, you know? It's a different ball game going into the popular group of friends, I think. It's like they all want to pretend that they're friends with each other, but at the same time, as soon as you turn around, someone says something nasty about something, and apparently it's supposed to help the situation. And I'm sitting there going, but if you're mean, you're just going to lose friends. It doesn't make sense. Why would you be mean in the first place? Because that's what we're taught. It's like, if you're mean, people will leave you, so don't be mean. Of course, this does lead into some kind of people-pleasing complex, which I seem to have developed. Now you get an ex-husband who's a narc, but, you know, interesting. And an ex-boyfriend who's a narc, conveniently. I just wanted to make them happy, so I'll do absolutely everything, give them everything I have, and it'll be okay, and I'll be nice, and I'll never confront them about anything. Yes, that leads into all kinds of problems. Don't do that. Although ideally I would love to do that, but don't do that. It's not good. It doesn't end well. But then you could go the other way, we just abandon people and treat people like shit, which is strangely what both my ex-husband and ex-boyfriend did. It's a weird dichotomy. I don't understand why people have to plasticize the niceness. Can't you just be nice? Like genuinely nice? We're all in this together. can't you just not fake the niceness? It's nauseating. So I'm wondering, at this point, I've walked into the staff room, I've dropped all these resources off first thing in the morning, I've given them nice things. I thought this could help someone. I'm not doing this with social proof because I genuinely have these resources I'm never going to use and I don't want, and they're just cluttering up my house. So I'm going to leave them here. And this snide comment comes from the back of the room. It's like, oh, they're your mum's resources, aren't they? And you're like, well, yes, actually, yes, they are. Good job. I put it on Facebook. Everybody knows that my mum's resources. They knew that I was bringing them in. What's with the snide comment? And the tone of it. I'm sitting there going, I know I'm autistic, I'm not supposed to pick up on tones, but I fucking picked up on that tone. I'm going, this don't feel right. It's like, have I done something wrong by bringing these in? And instantly you get pissy because you're like, well, why should I help you if you're going to be nasty about it? And then at the same time you're trying to reason with yourself, why do I fucking care? It's like, you work in a school on an island, in a blip, there's no scope for what you do in life that matters, and it's a bit existentialist. It's like, you fuckers don't matter. You don't affect me in any kind of way. You won't change my decisions for me. You can't control my behaviors and actions. You've got no say in what I do or say or anything. It's like, why do I care what you think? And it sounds nasty, maybe, and isolating, but at the same time, it's like, it puts it in perspective. It's like, why am I even bothering replying to you idiots? Why did I even bother helping you? And there's a lot of that. It's like, I think it's because we've been preconditioned to be nice to people. It's like, being nice to people is the thing you're supposed to do. That's only relative if you want to fit in. It's like, do you want to fit in? No, not really. Because I know I'm never going to fit in. Because I'm weird and I like that. But it's like, it took me ages to deal with that. My mom still thinks I'm quirky. It's like, you're not autistic, you're quirky. I'm like, Mom, I'm full-blown autistic. I've been diagnosed with that and several other bloody things. You're going to have to deal with this at some point. Nah, you're just quirky. It's all right. Oh my God, this is no reflection on your parenting. Can you please understand this? It's crazy. It's like they don't want to admit that they've had some kind of input, or I don't know. It's weird. There's still a stigma attached to that. I'm sitting going, it's not a bad thing in any way if it's helped me. I've seen so-called normal people fail at life because they just decided to fucking wing it or do something stupid, and you're going, well, that's not following the rules, and if you follow the rules, this happens. Which has worked out for me. I'm going, well, it's really easy actually. Why didn't you just follow the rules? And then they'll, crack the shit. It's hilarious. It's weird. It's crazy. But in the same sense, you do become a connoisseur of consequence. It's like being a non-smoker and not developing lung cancer. You're like, yep, I followed the rules. This was the consequences that was prescribed. This is what they said would happen, and it happened. Yes, I think I made the right decision. Just by following the rules. It's like this constant sense of rebellion. It's like, why do you want to rebel? It's like, is it really a rebellion though? Because it's going against common sense to rebel in this instance of smoking or taking drugs or something like that. It's like, I was surrounded by kids that smoked weed a lot. And in my 20s, there were people who did ecstasy, and now as a teacher and as an adult, there are parents that do meth. And it's like, the drugs are always there, but I know the rules are, don't take them, it will hurt you. At worst, it will kill you. It's like, it's never going to increase anything that's a positive thing, is it? So yeah, so logically we don't do it. But when I was hanging out with my now ex-boyfriend's social group, these are all, alternative kind of people. I don't know if it rings a bell with you, but these are people who they've done drugs, they smoke, they hang around in bars, they do all the, we're, unique fucking snowflake people. We know what we're doing. It's like, in reality, they don't, because all of them have very low paying jobs. All of them have been emotionally abused because of wanting to sleep around. It's like, they all smoke, so inevitably they're going to develop some kind of cancer of some kind, or something else, that's stupid heart problems or something like that. It's that weird sense that this is the image of what we should be. It's, against reason. And so you're weird if you don't belong with us. It's, oh, A, I'm weird and I like it. B, I can see that this is nothing but a destructive lifestyle in every sense of the word. You're all incredibly toxic, abusive, and degrading to each other. And there's that cattiness as well. Even in that group, there was 3 girls that fancied the guy I was with. And I know they did because they were the worst flirts. I'm going, what are you doing, mate? He's taken. Go away. This is just sad. And they do all kinds of things that you just sit there and you go, oh my God, are you thinking I'm thick or something? But it's catty as well. They'll smile and fake, do a nice smile to your face, and then you know they're bitching about you behind your back, and you go on, some of you fuckers haven't left high school. This is crazy. Why are we doing this still, this fake niceness? I know what you're saying and doing behind my back. I mean, I'm late 30s. I know that you guys are about mid-20s. So it's like, fucking grow up. It's crazy. And of course, in the end, I'm like, this guy's an asshole anyway, so I'm going to ditch him. And he was. Covert narc. It was like victim mentality. Everything made me an asshole. I'm going, okay, whatever. This is your reality, that's fine. I'm not going to change you. I wouldn't bother anyway. If this is what you want to live as, this is your lifestyle, that's fine. You go and do your thing. I'm going over here with a decent job, with goals, with following the rules, and not dying young and being healthy and all these positive stuff, constructive stuff. And, in that group, I was the arsehole for not smoking, for not doing the drugs. It's the worst peer pressure cliche I've ever seen. It's like, well, she's not one of us. I was like, I don't give a fuck. At this point, it's like, you fuckers aren't worth keeping around. You don't help anything in any way. In anything, you drain the system and you're a void. So what are you expecting? Me to want to belong to your group? I mean, it's the weirdest thing. This nastiness, I don't know. Are they going to be like that their entire time, their entire life, What is that? I don't understand that. Some people are just designed to be assholes. Maybe they weren't taught, be nice, you get nice things. Or be nice and you get nice people to hang around. Or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they weren't taught that rule. But it's the fake nice. And then expecting to get something out of it. It's like, I don't do the fake nice. If you're genuinely nice, and I can tell the difference, strangely enough, I won't. Just be nice. I mean, why do you have to fake it? Just fake it till you make it crap. It's like, no, just do it. Just be it. Why do you need to fake it? Stop faking it. Just do it. I mean, I don't support Nike in any way, but for fuck's sake, they made a point there. This nastiness, the catty fakeness, it gives you the shits. Why? The boys are just as bad as well, I've sat and watched the guys in that same group, and my guy would sit there and undermine the other guys like it was a competition, some kind of nastiness where if you don't drag them down, they're just going to take what you want or some shit like that. I don't know. I read about it somewhere where it's like the guys are trying to eliminate the competition. And I was sitting there thinking, but why? When I think about my friends from high school, we get together once a year, New Year's or so, around about my friend Andrew's birthday or something like that in January. We'll all sit around the table, we just have a few drinks and catch up about what have you been up to, and it's usually, just work or kids or marriage or some shit like that. And you go, so it's the same conversations we had last year. Yeah, it's pretty nice, but it's nice seeing you. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. All right, let's get some snacks or, get some drinks or something. When these guys used to catch up, and we did it quite frequently because I'm pretty convinced my ex-boyfriend was an alcoholic, there was constantly bitching and undermining and nastiness and drama and I'm sitting there going, this is just draining on the mind, the soul, It's like I feel my energy getting sucked out of me because you assholes. You're just nasty, nasty people. And then they grease it over with that fake persona, the fake smile. Like if I smile enough, it'll completely, cover up the fact that I've just, stabbed you in the back several times. The girls did it in their group, the boys did it in their group, and I'm sitting there going, this is what you are. You are girls and boys. You are not men and women. Men and women don't do that. We've got shit to do. We don't bitch about each other. We talk about, fucking life. We don't sit there bitching about, so-and-so's sleeping with someone. Oh my God. That's your bitch. Oh, and you sit there and think, you're too fucking old for this shit. I'm too fucking old for this shit. Why am I sitting with these assholes? It's that belonging. And I was never so happy as when I left that fucking group. When I ditched that asshole, I was like, right, finally, I got some peace. I can get on with my damn life. I've got several projects I need to work on. I might run into my mates for a coffee or something. But generally, it's been sound, quiet, calm, drama-free since I decided I don't want to belong to that group. I really want nothing to do with that. And again, you start questioning, it's like, why did I want their social approval? Because I tried to do it because these were his friends. I was trying to join in. I was trying to make his friends my friends. And it's like, these wouldn't be my friends if I was on my own. These guys are assholes. Why would I want to belong to this group? Why would I want to have any kind of allegiance to someone who's just going to sit there and knife me and bitch about me behind my back? It's like, these aren't nice people. But at the same time, because I was with him, I tried to gain social approval by existing with them. And I'm going, these people we don't identify with the same values or anything. It's like, why do we keep looking for social approval? It completely messed up my sense of authenticity. It's like really realizing who I am, what I stood for, and everything like that came from leaving that group. So I'm like, I don't believe this shit. I don't want to perpetuate this reality. I don't like these people. This is a nastiness that even I'm looking at like, you guys are fucking crazy. And they do this for fun. I'm going, what is that? What happened to you guys that you are so bitter and nasty that you have to knife each other in the back constantly? I never understood it. Glossed over the fake. And you're going, why are we covering this up? And I know people are going to say, if you point it out, you're going full Karen. I'm going, well, maybe Karen's got a point there. Are they really being assholes, or are they just pointing out this fakeness? I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that some more, because I'm not sure exactly the span of what being a Karen is, but I know apparently it's a bad thing, so I will look into that more. But it's like, if it means highlighting people being fake, or people being nasty, it's like, shouldn't we be doing that to save them being nasty and fake to other people? I mean, for the sake of wanting to belong to a group, would you participate in being fake and nasty? Just to say that you could be this person? It's like, there's no point. There's nothing nice about it. You don't get anything out of it. You feel like shit afterwards. And I was so happy when I fucking left that group. I really was. Because I wasn't constantly worrying about some girl trying to shag my boyfriend, or bitchy comments behind my back, or, guys treating it like a competition to see how many girls they could shag in the group. And it's like, what is this? This is high school again. You guys have not left high school. And it's the popular kids in high school. It's not even my weird crew, who were awesome and talked about weird shit. It was the bitchy girls that wasted a life. And you know what happened to those girls? When they got out of high school, they got pregnant. If they got out of high school before they got pregnant, they got fat. And they did nothing with their life. And now they're probably miserable. So I'm just hoping, without trying to sound horrible, I mean, we all get fat when we get older. I mean, look at me, but, I didn't get pregnant. Oh, that's a whole different story. We're not going that one today. But it's the nastiness. And I purposely missed out on my reunion for high school because I didn't want to go back to that shit. I didn't want to see those people. I didn't want to see the bullshit they would spin, trying to make it look like they'd done something with their life. It's just, why? Why don't you actually go and do something with your life instead of just pretending that you have? It's like, it's not that it's unachievable. It's very achievable. You just have to stop being a selfish piece of shit, basically, and dragging everyone else down or faking niceness to try and get ahead. It's like, you genuinely have to get off your ass and do something. And there was another thing about that group, my ex-boyfriend's group. They would say that they're doing all these things, and then none of them would actually do it. I had one guy who was apparently a poet. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's a different art form. Okay, all right. I didn't know we still had poets, but all right. And we went to some bar that he was doing a stand-up poetry. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this is a new experience for me. All right. I've never done this before. Okay, cool. But then that's it. And there was another girl who was, oh, I'm a singer. And it's like, oh, are you really? I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll come and see you. It's like, I can tell you now, you're not. It's nice that you're trying, and I like that you're trying. Okay, keep trying. Okay, keep going. All right. So, but then there was another guy who was a yoga teacher, but he never worked on his business. So he had like his social media, but you never saw anything happening. So you're like, are you actually working on your business, or are you just trying to present this fake persona that you are this yoga spiritual guru crap thing? And I'm like, are you? Because I can't tell. Because right now you've put a few pictures up which look very bloody questionable, to be honest. It looks more like bondage than yoga. And honestly, I think you just created this persona to try and get laid. So I don't even know what he was trying to do. It's like they say a lot of shit that they're going to do, but they don't actually do it. And it's the fakeness. And we're all supposed to grin and say, oh, that's cool. And then they knife each other in the back later after a few pints. And you're going, what the fuck am I hanging around with? Why am I associating with these assholes? It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. Anyway, I know that sounded like a lot of negativity, but it's just me trying to unfold my brain at this point. I'm still trying to understand people in general, even now. I'm sitting there going, why do they do that? I feel like I've been on observation mode since birth. I'm going, what the hell? Why the hell? At this stage. It was like, most of the time I was just sitting there staring at the blanket going, people. But this time, at this age, I'm sitting there going, but why do they do that? And to be honest, that's how you end up with a sociology degree, which, yes, I do have. But at the same time, I think it more made it easy to get by doing the same thing. Anyway, I've parked up. I've got to go into work because right now the admin's sitting there staring at me. Hello. I'm going to get in trouble. Do I want to get in trouble? Do I want to belong to these assholes? I don't know. They're looking at me like I'm a weirdo. I am a weirdo, but, apparently you're supposed to keep that under wraps to a degree. Yeah, so I've got to get out the car. But the thing to take away from this, I think, is if you are looking for social approval, make sure that whatever you are trying to join lines up with what you actually do believe, because you can fake that shit as much as you want. You will feel like a piece of shit for trying to fake it. You really will. It's like there's fakeness and there's like genuine people. I would rather hang out with the genuine people who know what they're doing, who are willing to give real time, real effort, than hang out with a bunch of fake assholes who then knife you in the back afterwards. I mean, why would you want to do that? In the long term, it's more sustainable to be real, to be authentic, and to actually, do something with your life. Don't wait for some arsehole to tell you that you're good enough. Just fucking do it. Just prove it. At this point, I'm going through several projects that prove that social group that belonged to my ex-boyfriend are full of shit. So genuinely, prove them wrong by actually getting off your ass and doing something. Don't look for social approval. Do it because you want to do it, because you think it's valuable, and because it coincides with your values. Don't listen to these assholes. They've got nothing to offer, and it's all fake. Everything they've told you that they are doing is most likely bullshit to make it look like they're doing something. It's busy work. Come back after you've done all the bits and pieces you want to do. Come back and just, shove it up their ass, basically. Don't let them tell you you're not good enough or that you don't belong, that you don't fit in. I mean, it's probably a good thing that you don't fit in. Fuck them. Say it with me. Fuck them. What did you learn from yoga? I learned how to tell people to fuck themselves. You don't want to belong to these people. And if it comes down to them treating you nasty because you're not doing exactly what they're doing, or you're not doing pre-approved activities or behaviors or whatever by that group, then fuck them. Seriously, they're not worth knowing. It's like, I know by the end of my projects, I've planned out the next 2.5 years. I know, weirdly. I love routine. But I know by the end of that, I will walk out with an apartment. I'll walk out with $60,000 in investments. And, I'm going on a trip to the UK as well because I planned it out, because I'm not wasting my time trying to seek the approval of the last group of people who I associated with, because they're assholes. It's like, I know they're time wasting, money wasting assholes. If I tried to fit in with those guys, I know I would go under. I know all my time would get wasted. I'd be paying out for stuff that's not for me, but just to join in to say that I've done it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. If you genuinely find some group of people that you want to hang out with and it's worth your time and it's worth your energy and money and resources, go for it. There's still value in interacting with groups. I don't particularly go that way because I prefer to be on my own, but that's me. That's what I feel is authentic. But if you're spending all this money on people or giving all your time away or saying yes to things that you don't want to do, you shouldn't do it. Don't do it, because inevitably they're still going to turn around and say it's not enough, or it's not good enough, or you have to do more, or you have to look like us. It's like it denies who you are as a person and as an individual to constantly strive after social approval. So if you can stand on your own 2 feet, and inevitably all you have is you in the end, which is true, because from experience for the last 37 years, I've found that in the end all I have is me, because every time I've gone to look for someone to help me or support in some way, I've been let down. And that's probably some kind of weird trauma response, to be incredibly independent. But at the same time, it does make you. You will not need anyone. It's nice to have people, but don't need them. Because inevitably, they're going to let you down, or they're going to not be available when you need them. You're going to be too dependent on people, and that's even through social approval, that aren't going to be able to provide you what you need. You're going to have to stand up and fight for yourself. So when it comes to social approval, do it with a grain of salt, okay? Having said that, it's up to you. This is just me rambling. I'm not all there, to be honest. I have got the social skills of a hamster, or maybe they've got more social skills than me. But that's my podcast for the day. This is my topic. I'm trying to think of another topic for tomorrow. Essentially, it's just me ranting in circles. So I'm hoping it's not the same topic as yesterday. I hope it was insightful. You don't have to listen to it again. You don't have to listen to it the first time. But at least it's insight into one person's brain, into what kinds of things make them tick. So I'm hoping you have a good day. I will be making another one for tomorrow. Trying to take it easy, okay?